Just a couple of weeks ago, Marjorie Greene got in actual trouble. I don't mean from like people like me criticizing. I mean, even Kevin McCarthy and some Republicans said that her commentary that people who are opposed to the vaccine are effectively like Jews being hunted down in the Holocaust was too much. You can't say that. You can't talk about yellow stars and all that. But it's okay. She learned, she went to the Holocaust Museum. She said, she's not gonna make comparisons like that anymore. And then come to today, where she tweeted this: Biden pushing a vaccine that is not FDA approved shows COVID is a political tool used to control people. People have a choice. They don't need your medical brown shirts showing up at their door ordering vaccinations. You can't force people to be part of the human experiment.
God, you sound just like her. I really can't get over, like, I can't do a better impression. It's like the low is low and it's that exact cadence.
That was pretty good, actually. Unfortunately, what she said wasn't good, because the brown shirts, of course, were a paramilitary organization that helped Hitler and the Nazis get into power. So the brown shirts hunted down and killed people, among them Jewish Germans, destroyed businesses and all of that. They were one of the armed wings of the uprising that led to the Nazis. And she says, if you don't want a vaccine, the medical brown shirts are coming to your door. So once again, you're the Jews in the Holocaust. Didn't we go through this? You can say almost anything. You can say Nancy Pelosi should be shot. You can say that there's space lasers and all that. The only thing you learned not to say was we're the Jews in the Holocaust. And it lasted a week and a half until you started claiming it again. And this time, will there be pushback, Francesca? Will Kevin McCarthy be aggrieved by this?
No, she took the Holocaust Museum tour so she could get more anecdotes and analogies to compare vaccines with the Holocaust. That's literally all she just learned that the brown shirts were a thing. And she was like, oh, okay, so the brown shirts, all right, so I'm gonna do that. Like she's just figuring out more ways to make this brash and awful and offensive comparison. And we all knew when she made her statement, it's wrong to make these comparisons. We heard the narrator voice. When she's like, I will not make any more comparisons, the narrator she did not stop it making comparisons. She did not stop, and she will not stop. Marjorie will never stop.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Here is what she said. The Holocaust is, there's nothing it's comparable, but there's nothing comparable to it. It happened, and over 6 million Jewish people were murdered. There is no comparison to the Holocaust, and there are words that I've said, remarks that I've made that I know are offensive, and for that I want to apologize. And maybe I can apologize for the next ones too, because they come in a couple of weeks. And here's the thing, is it kind of fun? Yes, the news is terrible, so I'm laughing as the defense mechanism that I have. But this is a congresswoman. She may not have committee assignments or whatever. She's still a congresswoman, and she is still 100% minimizing those who were murdered by the Nazis to make her anti-scientific, anti-vax position seem more honorable or something. She's been told, she had her opportunity to learn. You shouldn't have needed it, but she had it anyway. And what she has learned is, I can still get away with whatever I want. So screw all those people, screw the people who are still dealing with the long legacy of the Holocaust and all the tragedy and horror and all that. Screw all of them. I'm gonna use it to justify my own BS.
Okay, yeah.
Final thoughts.
Yeah, two last things. One, it doesn't even come close. Like, if you're talking about a genocide in another country, if we're talking, I'm sorry. Are there like brigades coming to anyone's home? Has anyone actually been asked to show a vax card? I haven't. I've flown on a plane. I've done comedy indoors. I've gone to restaurants. Never been asked.
Yeah.
Is that good or bad? Who knows? I've never been asked. So there's no one knocking at the door. There is no one checking. I actually, in a lot of cases, especially when I go into a bar and it's like, they're like, oh yeah, let's check your ID. Make sure you're 21, make sure you're legal enough to spread the virus. Like
yeah. It doesn't actually exist.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.